Well, May is Bike Month.
It
is.
And you may not be aware of the fact that May is Bike Month. Weather's great. It's time to get out there, and it's easy to see why people love bikes.
Well, you know what? It's a great way to get around. Ohio, of course, and Columbus becoming much more bike friendly. So let's break down some of the friendliest places. Now, this is according to the League of American Bicyclists. Washington State is very bike friendly. Minnesota, Wisconsin, then in the top three.
Huh.
We're number 16 here in Ohio, so we're still working on it.
We've got a little room to improve for sure. Officer Ron Burkitt is with us from the Hilliard Police Department, and he's here today to show us some of the safety tips for cyclists, and not just the little ones. We're talking about everybody who gets on a bike.
If you're biking to work, or if you're just going to be biking around on the bike paths or around town.
Yeah, adult cyclists.
Run into the grocery store. You know, the thing is, can't we all just get along? Because it seems like bicyclists and drivers just don't want to get along.
No, it'd be nice if we could get along, but that's not going to happen.
What do we need to do to make it happen?
The basic bicycling tenet is bicyclists fare best when they act and are treated like drivers of vehicles.
Okay.
So adult cyclists have to act like they're driving a real vehicle, yet understanding that they're not. You know, with a car-bike crash, the cyclist loses.
Every time.
Every time.
Yeah.
The drivers have to then treat them as a driver of a vehicle and not try to cut them off, not say just because you're smaller than me, I'm going to pull out in front of you, I'm going to disregard you, all that stuff.
People get very annoyed, don't they?
They really do.
They really do.
Well, is that because if you're on a bike, you may be going slower than the drivers want you to be? And if you're taking the lane like you're supposed to, that's slowing other folks down.
It is at times. Some cyclists, bad cyclists, bring it on themselves because they run red lights. They jump onto sidewalks, which is not allowed, and they cross as a pedestrian. They like to act like pedestrians, even though they're not. And that upsets cyclists that are drivers that are waiting at lights. Why do I have to wait? But you're allowed to go.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of a give and take on both sides.
Both sides need to pay more attention to this. Let's start with helmets. Were you surprised that if you're over 18, you don't have to have a helmet?
Yeah, I really was, because I thought that was just universal.
Yeah. Helmet laws are, the state doesn't get into helmet laws for the Ohio Revised Code, but individual communities can pass their own helmet laws. So when you've got a helmet on, it should fit snug, it should fit level. You know, it shouldn't tilt way in the back.
Snap right in.
Yep, snap right in. Shouldn't be too far forward. Should be able to get maybe a finger in there. You don't want it to be able to come up under your chin and then pop off, because when you fall, you're going to hit the ground, and that shock to the helmet, you want everything to hold on.
Right.
You notice he said when, not if.
I know.
Yeah.
He knows.
Two types of riders, those that have fallen off a bike and those that are going
to. You're also recommending goggles.
Yeah, some type of eye protection. Because if you're an adult cyclist can get up to 25, if you're going down the hill 30 mile an hour and you get a bug going 2 or 3 mile an hour, you're talking about a 32-mile-an-hour object hitting you in the eye, so some type of eye protection.
I recommend a whole mask, because I've eaten more bugs.
That's tough.
It's nasty.
Yes.
Very much so.
Yes.
Now, what about some just general bike laws? Let's talk about what needs to happen out there with us. You have to use turn signals.
Correct.
What do those look like? Quick refresher course for us.
Again, you act and treat it like you're driving a real car. So if you're on this vehicle, as I turn around, we're using our left hand because we're sticking our hand outside the car. So left turn.
All right, straight
and
out.
then right turn.
Right turn this way.
And then stop.
Oh, you signal when you're stopping?
Yeah, because there's no brake lights on here.
You ever done that?
No brake lights. So if you're on a trail, if you're not on the road, if you're cycling maybe short north, you're commuting to work, and you need to slow down, you need to tell drivers, you know, you can go straight out, but hey, I'm slowing down so they don't.
All right.
Nobody knows that sign. We've got to get the word out.
I've never seen that one before. That's brand new.
And then what about reflective gear? How important is that? You were saying no brake lights. So
passive. You've got passive and active lighting. Passive lighting, this is reflective. The Hilliard Police on the back is passive lighting. It needs other light to produce.
Can you show us that?
Sure.
You
have a
reflective
If one of you will go behind the camera.
Oh, yeah. Should I go over
Go behind the camera and shine it on the back of.
Let me do this.
Just right within the line of the camera.
Oh, yeah.
Within 3 degrees of the light source, it's going to shine really bright.
Huh.
So if another camera hits it, I'm just I'm just lit up, but it doesn't
Yeah,
glow.
that's pretty
Right,
impressive.
but it
How
will
many
glow if it's-
times, though, have you seen those people in the middle of the night or in the early morning hours commuting to work or
Right.
wherever they go, and you can't see them at all?
Right.
Well,
Well, and they'll wear black, and then
Right.
you never see them.
Never see them.
So bright clothing, and the key to that is the driver of the vehicle is within that 3 degrees, so you're going to glow to the person who's in the car that's possibly running you over.
Right.
Coming up
So,
behind
and then
you.
active lighting is something that's going to be on the bike. It's going to have a battery, maybe something you could clip on your belt,
Okay.
maybe have a battery
And
that's
something
going to
forward,
flash.
too, shining
Right.
for you.
Yeah, if you're driving at night, you have to have a headlight, you have to have a tail light.
Okay.
You know.
What about safe distances on either side and behind, cars and bikes alike?
That's a good question. You should have at least a 3-foot wobble lane, because the bike's standing right now because it's got that third point of reference with the kickstand. But if you're riding, it's going to flop. You know, so you need to have 3 feet of wobble so you can turn if things go
you
slow.
needed to.
And that's one of those problems with cyclists and drivers.
So
Oh,
don't
yeah.
weave between traffic.
Right, just stay straight. If there's no cars parked on the right side of the road, don't just jump in there to jump out later. Just keep going
Keep the
in your
course.
path of
Okay.
travel.
Stay in the lane.
Yet keep your brakes covered so if a driver does pull out, you can come to a stop.
Wonderful. Good
Did you-
information. Thank
Did you ride here?
No, well, yeah, I did. I parked in the north parking lot and
There you
rode
go.
right up the steps.
Well done.
Right up the steps.
Thank you so much. We
No
appreciate
problem.
it.
Great
Thanks
to
for
see you.
having me.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very
Take care.
much.